Hi guys, thank you again for tuning into another edition of Relationship Ed, where we try to figure out what's going on in his head.
I think it's her head. Welcome back, guys. This is your boy Omain. This
And
is
I'm
your
your
girl
girl,
Christy
Christy
B.
B.
There we go.
Every time I say trying to figure out what's going on in their heads, I'm just thinking, oh my god, it is just so much. I have a topic coming up and it's really I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm trying my best not to say it, because if you try to figure out men, you see a guy, you like him like you, and after certain things, completely no communication and stuff, what the hell are going on in them head, and they have all these excuses as to why they never link you back and all these things. So that's why we're going to be talking about second chances today.
It's a very interesting
I
topic.
may not behave so guilty.
It's not about guilt. It's more, I'm a guy. I know that men do that a lot, and so do some women. To be totally honest, so I don't want to seem like I'm going to say something and be biased about it. This was what that look was for. You can meme me away. I give you that right today. But to be honest, second chances, sometimes third chances. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not telling no lie. If you go down a third chances, we're talking about Yamidarity. Yeah, straight Yamed. We does not think so third chances for go on. Some man not even deserve second chances.
Like, if when the dead back for the last time and you mess around again, I will kill you kind of territory. That's what you mean?
No,
I
wouldn't even go there. For me, I'm trying to think if I've ever given. Yes, I have given a second chance before, and
why? Wow.
I don't think it's one, especially when you're married. You're not gonna give second one chance. You're going to give it a few chances because you're bound by contract, and this is not one that you're willing to give up easily or readily. We're talking about a contract here that might cost you to break. So all of that. But in terms of second chances, for me, it depends on what the person did. That's some BS right there. Because enough of a woman we get cheated on and we still go back. Second chances. And that is bad enough. Because we're talking about STIs here. Let alone now we're talking about COVID. When the guy be kissing on you and go elsewhere, be kissing on somebody else and come back with virus. Forgive. So it's yeah.
Here's where I think that we can stray and go too much left or right. Yeah, it's a given that men are a bit more basic with the sexual urge, yeah? Whereas with a woman, it's more of a connection, a feel, and it's more psychological. So some women, and not to knock them, they seem to give second chances because they see men on that level where they can't see past their thing, so they would possibly try to do that. But when it comes on to maybe falling in love with somebody, they wouldn't want to give them a second chance because it's more than just the sex now. It's more the emotion. That understanding that the woman has, where if she's going to go out, it must be something more than just the sex. It has to be psychological as well. So once she can recognize that, she would probably say, nah. But if it's just sex, she could probably say, you know what, let me think about this for a second, even though I'm upset. And forgive him for that. I think that's a little bit fair based on what I've seen so far from most women in some relationships, whether they be good or bad. What do you think about that?
I'm just thinking two things. So in fact, if it was just a sexual relationship, I do think that second chance in that probably shouldn't be possible, especially after sex, no communication with the guy, the man cannot be found. You might call him feeling all hyper and stuff, and just the attitude, the energy that you get from him might be so just like throw you off, and you're like, oh my god, you're trying to spruce things up, but then he is so pissed off at the world that he not think about your feelings. But that's all good, right? So you decide to move on. Best believe, say, if you know enter that stage again and him gone again after that, you're gonna feel real messed up, especially if you feel like you have a thing for him.
So no third chances there, or
no, I mean, I think
just
there
one
should be a
chance?
second chance for that.
Well, and I think also the term shouldn't be loosely used, because the chances term is more like you're in a committed relationship and it's not the norm for you to err or to mess up. And the whole idea about giving a second chance is to count the good versus the bad. And if the good is outweighing the bad, it doesn't mean 60-40. I mean, like, if this person has been consistent. And say, for example, this person went out, and I'm just throwing this out there, with the guys. Did the right thing, told you about it weeks in advance. You said, okay, nothing is wrong with that. As a matter of fact, you would have been home doing some extra work that you needed to do. So he went out, somebody slipped something in his drink, he went out, got drunk. You heard that he had sex with somebody. He can't disprove it. What would you do? Would you give him a second chance for that?
So, I don't know if I missed something. I heard that somebody slipped him something.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. I would give him a second chance.
So it's on that extreme that it must be.
Of course. I mean, if you intentionally went and had sex with somebody else, what? I mean, you made your mind up. Like, all if you want to tell me, say you're drunk, what? Come on. Yo, we all have will. We all have this. We have so much in a way that can help us not to make certain decisions.
Here's the thing. I like what you say there. But a lot of times we people, humans, we tend to be very flippant, and we're very biased with that point of view, right? Only when it benefits us the most, then we use that card, and then when it doesn't, then you flip it around. It doesn't really matter, because you're not seeing it from the person's point of view. You think that makes sense?
It does, but I know Chrissy B, and there are a lot of women who might be like me, who they have a standard, they have, they have a goal. So they say if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything.
This is correct.
Right. So you have to stand for something. You have to stand when you go into that club or party or whatever, and a girl, fling up herself for you or whatever, you say, yo, I'm a woman, I'm yard, And like you tell her that, you probably give her one dance or something, but the moment that you end up having sex with that person, you must have processed that thought.
Most of the times. I can tell from a man's perspective sometimes if you're in that precarious position to not be frequently utilizing said device, tool that you were given. You could think waywardly and opt on the very first chance you see without thinking too much clearly about much other things apart from that. If you're one of those types of men, to be honest, watch me sit up and try to not be one of
With
those.
all that fancy talk and all those big words a while ago, anyway you take it, you have will, and you need to make a decision at that moment. Are you willing to mess up your relationship that you love so much? You love this woman so much, you just kiss her and tell her you love her, and you reach a club, girl are fling up on you, and you're willing to make a decision like that?
Sometimes them point us so like they're really close and like, yeah, talk from experience.
No, this one I don't have the experience on this one.
Why?
It's just
Listen
that
to him good
if
enough.
I were to go on the road and this guy like me, or we just somewhere where, I don't know, clubbing or whatever, and this guy me drunk off, I don't know, I have had too much. I'm still conscious. I'm not gonna say the same thing for everybody, but you have to have will. You still have to hold on, even one thin piece of thread you hold on for will. You can't just fall for anything.
I like that kind of concept as well. It tells you about the depth of the person too. And it makes you develop a sense of trust. Yeah? Big confidence in the person to know that even if and when she was stone cold drunk, she was still able to say, you know what, too much now. You know? and that will make and instill confidence in anybody to do the compromise to give you that second chance if you really deserve it on that extreme end that you were talking about there. Very good, guys. Again, like, share, subscribe. This is Relationship Ed, your boy Omain and your girl
Chrissy B.
There you go. Drop your comments.
So definitely we're going to be going in the streets on this one for sure, because we want to know, at what point do you draw the line? Are you going to compromise? Are you going to, of course, we just spoke about compromise in our previous video. Are you going to compromise and give a second chance? Are you going to, that was another point in compromising. How far is too far? Second chances, how far is too far? Going to third, you have some yamid. May I tell you, enough we have yamid moments and we compromise, we give fifth chances. Some girls say, yo, if you man not beat her, I'm done over her. Where them the idea they come from? The same idea we go allow you to give him third and fourth chances to beat you. Because it doesn't have to only be about sex. Will you give him a second chance to hit you? Will you give him a third and fourth? Your children are there. Will you allow it? Are you telling your son that it is okay to hit a woman? Are you telling your daughter that it is quite fine for your man to beat you? So, second chances, like I said, it doesn't just have to do with sex. It has to do with our, relationship and what is involved.
Those are good points. I wish for those persons who have multiple perspectives out there on the same talking point that they could share that experience. It doesn't have to be detailed or direct to you per se, even if you know somebody that went through somebody that would, or something rather, that would help the comments to expand, so we could talk more about that, because that's a real point of view where persons are not only being psychologically abused, but they're being physically abused, and they have kids around. And again, guys, life is not easy, and if we really want it to be, just make a bag of money. So that's going to be very hard for us to do that, but then eventually it becomes easier because the only thing you do is to keep it. There you go.
Yes.
How I feel about second chances. It's important. I am I'm a believer of what is a supreme being, and I read my Bible, and based on his teachings and what I have learned from my Bible, I understand that he gives a lot of second chances. There are so many times in which he wanted to destroy Nineveh, for example, wanted to destroy the Egyptians. Rather, he did, but it was a reason. He needed to do those things for a reason. And when the Israelites, when they wronged him, he gave them opportunities to make things right. And based on that, I have also extended second and third opportunities for persons who deserve it. There are many persons who abuse it, and if I see a trend where persons are not deserving of my second chance or third for that matter, I do not extend it. I am a fair person. I believe in second chances for friendships, relationships, all kind of ships, but it has to be based on the person and whether or not they're deserving. All right.
So once again, I'm your girl Chrissy B, and
this is your boy Omain. Welcome to Relationship Ed.
Yeah, where we try to figure out what's going on in his head.
Her head.
That not even Magnum PI can't solve.
Where did the stuff go? Peace.
Yeah, we're out.